Okay, now we proceed further and continue with our disease causation models. We have already studied and understood the epidemiological triad, and we are going to use this epidemiological triad in study of communicable diseases. This must be very clear to us. Now, in community medicine or public health, the division of diseases is in two broad groups. One is communicable diseases and second is non-communicable diseases. Sometimes we also classify under nutritional diseases and accidents or further heads, but two major heads are communicable and non-communicable. Now, when we try to apply this model of epidemiological triad in non-communicable diseases as the disease causation model, we entered into problems. Now, in communicable diseases, at least the agent is well defined, and in most diseases it is one agent. TB is caused by tuberculosis bacilli, cholera is caused by cholera vibrio, malaria is caused by parasite plasmodium. So we didn't have much problem with agent. But the problem comes with non-communicable diseases. Take the example of IHD. Here I would like to stress, and whenever we are discussing non-communicable diseases and there is a requirement of an example, always pick up the example of coronary artery disease, which I will elaborate further. Why we should pick up? Because it is easier to discuss it, and we know so many risk factors of CAD that even if we forget 2-3, we can manage our answer. So now when we start looking at the epidemiological trial model into coronary artery disease, now coronary artery disease has multiple agents. The one is obesity, one is lack of exercise, one is smoking, one is diet, then diabetes precipitates it, hypertension precipitates stress, mental stress. So there are multiple factors. It may happen that one is smoking but he doesn't get CAD. So that one-to-one relationship between the disease agent and the disease which was available to us in communicable diseases starts getting lost. So by our human tendency to fit this triangle of epidemiological triad into non-communicable diseases, we proposed what is called advanced model of triangle of epidemiology. Instead of disease agent, the word agent, now because there were multiple factors, so we started using the word causative agents. And host factors, we started saying that there is the characteristics of populations. And environmental, we became more broad, and we brought in the total concept of ecology. So this model is the advanced model of triangle of epidemiology, is nothing but our attempt to fit in the epidemiological trial model into non-communicable diseases. But frankly, it did not become successful, and we are not using it. So what we are doing for non-communicable diseases? Non-communicable diseases, now I have already introduced the term risk factors. So we are studying non-communicable diseases by a model which is called risk factors. Risk factors we have to study because we can get a note on these factors. These factors have got two basic characteristics. Factors are same as variables. Smoking is a variable. Obesity is a variable. Lack of exercise is a variable which is related with CAD. So these factors have got basically two characteristics. Firstly, they are associated, the causative factors are associated with the outcome, that is CAD. So when we do a statistical test, the two are found to be associated. That is one. The second step, there is another step. They are causal in nature. Now, how do we define causality? Causality is based on John Hill's criteria or Hill's criteria of causality, which we will study in epidemiology, and we have studied in epidemiology from association to causation. So there are various 8 factors are there: strength, specificity, temporal relationship, coherence. So these type of factors are there which upgrades a associated factor into a causal factor. So risk factors, 2 characteristics are there. Now we have to write an answer on risk factors. So we are defining or classifying risk factors into various ways. The most important we know is modifiable and non-modifiable factors. Modifiable is my age, my gender, my race, my heredity, my genes, and these are non-modifiable. And modifiable are: I'm smoking, I'm obese, I'm not exercising, mental stress, blood sugar, hypertension, high cholesterol. So these are modifiable because they can be modified. The second way of classifying, which can be, you can write an answer, is the risk factors may be individual. I am smoking, so it is my individual factor. It may be in the family because we have a common genetic pool. So genetic diseases like BRCA 1 or 2 may be genetic in nature, so it will be distributed. Risk factors are familial, or it may be community. The whole community is getting exposed to industrial waste or air pollution or some high level of chemicals or some risk factors of, so then it will go, the whole community is affected. So modifiable risk factors can be modifiable, non-modifiable, one way of classifying. And the second way of classifying can be, it is individual, family and groups. Risk factors, when the risk factors we have seen coronary artery disease are multiple, so this theory of multiple causation of disease has come into play. Now we must understand that multiple causation of disease we are using both in communicable diseases, where we are using the concept of agent, host factors and environment factors, which makes multiple factors causing cholera or tuberculosis or HIV. And similarly we know multiple risk factors or multiple causation in non-communicable diseases, which is coronary artery disease. The next step is web of causation. McMahon and Pugh have given this concept, and again I will request you to keep the example of coronary artery disease while describing web of causation. The reason I have already given you. So what we have to do, I will not be able to do the 100%, I will miss some causes, but still I will be able to answer. So there is a coronary artery disease in center. Now start writing risk factors. Now one I know, let us say obesity. The second is lack of exercise or sedentary lifestyle, lack of physical exercise. Let us put high cholesterol. Then let us may think of diet is related with, and hypertension is related with this thing, and diabetes mellitus is related with this thing, and stress is related with this thing, diabetes. And then there can be genetics, I am prone to, my family history is there. We have forgotten a very good example is smoking. And there will be few others. So because I don't want to go into detail, we are not studying the CAD, so we have made, and then we have to make a web. If I do lack of, there is obesity, I am also, they say, let us say I have diabetes mellitus. Obesity will also lead to diabetes mellitus. Smoking will lead to hypertension. Diet will lead to hypertension. Diet is related with cholesterol, and obesity is related with diet. Understood? So what is happening is, if you can, lack of exercise is related with obesity, Lack of exercise may be related with high cholesterol or bad triglyceride levels. So what we have done is we have made a web of causation. Web is nothing but a spider web. So if you use the example of coronary artery disease, we will be able to create a web around it in which the causes are related directly to each other and they are also aggravating each other. So obesity is causing diabetes mellitus and diabetes mellitus is causing coronary artery disease. So this way we can, let us say smoking is there, maybe related with stress. So this way we can create a web. So we will stop here this time, and next time we will start going to a very, very important topic, that is level of prevention. Thank you.